So I'm here with Terry Wood. This is Brad Skiles. Hey Terry, give us just a thumbnail sketch of what happened last night in Winona Lake.
It was a very, very encouraging meeting. There were approximately 450 plus people there. There were people from Madison County, Grant County, Johnson County, Lake County, LaPorte County, Porter County, Noble County, Allen County, as well as Kosciusko County.
Cool.
So one of the things that I was totally encouraged by is that word has been getting out around the state that parents need to be informed of their Bill of Rights, the rights that a parent has. Ultimately, a child's education lies in the lap of the parent. And for parents who are engaged in their children's education, basically who take that seriously, this is a way of educating them of the questions that they can go to local school boards and ask what curriculums are being shared, what types of information is being taught to my children in your classroom. We have the right to question those. And if they choose not to answer those questions, then they would remain suspect and suspicious to perhaps nefarious activity, because we as the parents have the right to ask and to implore our educators and our administrators of the education that's taking place in the classroom. Last night was just a great opportunity to dialogue. Not everybody in the room agreed on all of the topics and all of the issues. However, it is becoming more and more aware that there is a critical race theory being pushed into the education system, propagated by the powerful teachers unions. And so, with that being said, I just think it was a tremendous turnout and a great reflection on Todd Rokita wanting to inform parents around the state with the Parental Bill of Rights.
Okay, so we were praying for 1,200, 1,500, and it sounds like there was 450, but when you see the picture, the room was packed. Right, so like 450 really packed out the room, which was what we wanted to have happen.
Yes, because rather than setting chairs up in straight rows, that facility can hold up to around 1,200 people, but they set up round tables, and after they set up the round tables, they ended up having to set up another 100 to 150 chairs on the wings and in the perimeters, and virtually many of those were filled. So it was a tremendous evening. There were a lot of local supporters. A lot of people who spoke at the mic actually came from a variety of different counties, as I mentioned before, throughout the state. So this is not just something affecting Kosciusko County. What is being done here, he was invited here by our commissioners and by our county attorney to come and inform us, educate us. And I'm sure that what was heard and said here last night are going to go back and filter into some of those other counties, and they're going to be able to start holding their superintendents and their school board members accountable for the things that take place under their tutelage.
Okay, so one last question. I was kind of picturing, of course I had to be somewhere else, I was in Kendallville. I was picturing that what would be said by the audience would be more important than what was said by the Attorney General. How do you evaluate what happened?
And that's 100% true. The feedback that came from the microphones last night were concerned grandparents, concerned parents, some educators. There were even students that spoke from a student's perspective of the education that they've received in Warsaw Community Schools, who are now off to college and such. And so it was a great dialogue. Once again, not everybody agreed with every point, but people had the opportunity to state where they were coming from. It was civil, and that's what they asked for. They just said, we are all learning in this process. Right now, all of us are in education mode and need to become educated about how these ideologies are not creeping in. They're already here, and how do we address them being here? And the Attorney General did make an emphatic, with his Bill of Rights, an emphatic declaration that we will not tolerate such indoctrination against our students, against the right of the parents. So thus the Bill of Rights was released.
Okay, so I said one last question. Now here's one last question. Do you think it made an impression on Rokita and we'll just say the Indy deep state? Did that event with 450 people filling the auditorium and the comments that were made, do you think that has ramifications in Indianapolis?
I will say this: anytime you can assemble 450 people in a community forum, it is destined to have a ripple effect. There is no doubt in my mind. Once again, a little drop here and it ripples out. I'm telling you, from all the people from around the state that were represented from a variety of counties are now equipped with the proper information to take back to their counties. So I say absolutely 100% yes.
Awesome.